Okay, so ACT Science. It's probably the hardest section because you got 35 minutes, but you have 40 questions. Okay, so first I'll talk about pacing. Since there's seven passages, you have to average 5 minutes per passage. However, they get progressively more difficult, right? Um, like for instance, the first few ones, they're just like reading the graphs. So as long as you're not making stupid mistakes, you should be able to do it fast. So what I do is, um, well, first of all, you have to have a stopwatch that doesn't make sound, or you have the wristwatch thing, and then you can put tape over the bottom, whatever, to make it not beep, so it's legal. But you have to have a stopwatch to help keep you pace, right? So then what I did was, oh, and by the way, I got 36 on this section, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so for the first four passages, um, they're normally the easier ones. So you have to average around 3.5 minutes for the first four passages, right? So like this one you can get done 3.5. Normally the first one's really easy. So normally the first one I can get done in like 2 minutes. Second one, whatever. Just make sure by the time you get to the fourth passage, you're at around 14 minutes. Because the last three passages suck ass. Because you actually have to understand it. The last three. And then they make it kind of hard to understand. Okay, whatever. So, yeah, that's the pacing. And that's how you do it. It's you do like a speed, or at least for the first four, you do a speed read. Like it's kind of like a skimming over, except not really, because you actually have to you read fast enough so that you're not too slow, but then you read slow enough that you understand it. That's kind of what you got to do. And then yeah, for the first passage, normally it's just taking a look at these tables, and then they just ask you what it is. So yeah, it's the first one. Okay, second one, about the same. I mean, most of the time it's just looking at graphs and shit. Should be easy, as long as you don't make dumb mistakes. Yeah, I mean, just read fast enough so that you don't waste time, but then don't be like, oh, I gotta make sure I finish this, and then you just skip lines, because you can't do that. I don't know, it takes practice to find the balance between understanding and not going too slow. Okay, so yeah, they get progressively harder, as I said. By the time you get to like passage 7, you're not only gonna be tired because this is section 4, this last one you've been testing for like a long ass time, and then you'll be reading this and be like, oh, what are they even saying? But then just don't overanalyze it, and it should be good. Yeah. So I mean, as long as you make sure you follow the 2 rules, go over it again. First rule is you do pacing so that it's around 3.5 minutes per section for sections 1 through 4. So then, because those are the easier ones, so then you have time for the last 2 or last 3 harder sections. And rule number 2 is read fast enough so that you understand it, but not slow enough that you won't. So not slow enough that you won't be able to do the pacing I talked about in Rule 1. So yeah, that's how you do science. Just practice that, and you're good. You get a 36. Or if you're Jack, or if you're like Jack Nee, and then you get really lucky and you get a 36 by straight guessing, you can do that too. But whatever. Yeah.